Hi, this is Rock. We're going to talk about using keyboard shortcuts for undo and redo. The undo keyboard shortcut is Ctrl Z, and the redo keyboard shortcut is Ctrl Y. These are things you should know and have at your fingertips to do automatically as you need them without having to think about it or find your place on the keyboard. These should be as quick and as habitual as you can make them. So I'm going to do a quick sequence formula, which we'll learn all about this later. This is what I want you to come away with, how much faster it is to use the keyboard than the mouse. Obviously, the mouse is a good invention, it's great, but keyboard shortcuts, if you can make a habit of certain keyboard shortcuts that you can use all the time, it'll be faster than your mouse. So up here in the quick access toolbar, you have your undo and redo. Let me go ahead and do something here. I'm going to select 80 here, and I'm going to select 180 by holding Control, and then I'm going to find 280 and 380 and 480, and I'm going to make those, this 80 color. All right, and then we're going to select 110 and 210, 310, 410, 510, make those a different color. All right, if I'm going to undo something quickly, going all the way up here and clicking undo or clicking redo from working here with my fingers on the keyboard, it's so much faster just to hit Control Z and then undo, or Control Y and redo. Then going all the way up here, clicking that. The advantage that you have with this, and when I would recommend using the icon with the mouse versus the keyboard shortcut, is if you have multiples to do. I'm going to grab 63 here, 63, 63, and 63. Oh, I skipped one, and then I'm going to give those that color. All right. So now I have multiple things that I could undo. If you have multiple things, yes, use this drop down that's on the icon. It's not available on the keyboard shortcut. It is if you just hit the keyboard shortcut 3 times. That's certainly faster than going up here, but if you have to select exactly the one that you wanted to do, you could do that here more precisely, which that's great use of the icon. Unless you're doing that, I would recommend getting in the habit of using Control Z to undo and Control Y to redo. Something else about Control Y, which is, let me show you here an example. I'm going to grab 27 and this one over here, a bunch of random ones I'm going to grab, and let's say there was some reason I was needing to select these and give them a special format, let's say bold, and I'm going to make those this color, and I'm going to make it that. So it was hard to do, but then I come over here again and I'm like, oh wait, that's not quite the right color, or I need to reselect all those. The way to reselect in this situation would not be to just click here and reselect all those again. This is a somewhat simple example, but sometimes you have very complex selection that took a while to make. So if you need to reselect that selection, the thing to do is to undo. So you hit Control Z and then redo with Control Y. And now everything is selected. So you're back to where you were, with the exception that now the selection that you want is now selected. So you could then go up and say, okay, let me make it that other blue that I meant to make it. So use Control Z and Control Y as a way to reselect complex selections, in addition to there being a keyboard shortcut that's very handy. Hopefully you've been convinced that using the keyboard is faster than the mouse. Try it for yourself, see what works for you, but give yourself some time to learn that keyboard shortcut as a habit before you determine that it's easier just to use the mouse, because once you're in a habit, it can be so much faster to use the keyboard shortcut. Next, we're going to learn about copying and pasting using keyboard shortcuts and how much faster that is. Talk to you then.